What's going down, everybody? So you can see by the shirt that I'm wearing what today is. It is the 20th year anniversary of the Sega Dreamcast. The Sega Dreamcast, by all means, is probably one of my favorite systems I've ever purchased. I got a little story behind actually purchasing the Sega Dreamcast, but I'm happy to bring this to you guys today because it is the 20 years. It's been 20 years since this system came out. When it came out, it was 1999, and I was actually 19 years old, working at McDonald's so that I could get me a Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, it's been 20 years. So today is definitely a special day for this little guy right here. This system came out, and it blew minds. It didn't last as long as it should have, and that's kind of a downer for most people, but it blew minds when it came out. In the era when this system came out, we had the PlayStation 1 and we also had the N64. So, of course, the PlayStation 1 was 32 bits, the 64 was 64 bits. But this bad boy right here was 128 bits. So, back then, it was all about the numbers. Nobody really knew what that meant. We just knew that it looked better than the other system. And you could basically get arcade quality on the Dreamcast. And the Dreamcast was only $199 when it was released here in the United States, which was September 9th, 1999. The date everybody remembers because it was 9/9/99. This system, what I did was I pre-ordered mine at, it was either EB Games or GameStop. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but this was back when I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and it was at the mall. So what I did, I knew it was coming out. I put $5 down on it. Now, mind you, the system was $200, but back in 1999, your boy didn't have the money that your boy got now. So at that time, I was like, all right, I got to figure out a way to be able to get up enough funds to get this system. So I got a job at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. I had the morning shift, and trust me, it sucked. But I knew what the outcome would be. The outcome would be me being able to pick up a Sega Dreamcast. So I worked my behind off, and I finally got up the funds to get it. And I got the tax. I had the $200, plus I had the tax. So what I did, I said, all right, I'm going to go pick this up, but I'm just going to be picking up the system. I'm not going to have any games or anything. So how am I going to, what am I going to play? And of course, you know, I had to get Sonic Adventure. So I got Sonic Adventure, but the way I got it is the kicker. I said, all right, I wonder if my aunt is actually home today. And she was off work. So I know that when I took my aunt with me someplace, I was going to be able to get what I wanted, plus way more. So I told her, I said, all right, could you come with me to the mall to pick up this system that I had pre-purchased? She said, okay, fine. So we get there, and I'm like, wow. I'm getting the system, and I'm like, dang, I don't have nothing to play. So my aunt being my aunt and my godmother and just the way she was, she said, okay, what else do you need? Yo, when she said, what else do you need? Trust me, I almost did a backflip in the store. I said, all right, I'm going to need a VMU, and I'm going to need a game. So she was like, okay, what game? I said, let me get that Sonic Adventure. So I got the Sonic Adventure. She got me the Sonic Adventure. She got me the VMU to go with it, the memory card. And I had my system. And I had to make sure that I got the system that said made in Japan. Because see, if you can see here, this is still my original system. I'm not sure if you can see that. But right there, it says made in Japan. Because a lot of the systems were, some of them were manufactured in Indonesia, some of them were manufactured in China, and all of that. And those systems had some problems. I said I have to get one that says made in Japan on the bottom, even though it's a US system. So I found that. I made the guy go on the back, search through all the boxes for the one that said made in Japan. I got that. I got home. When I got home, I swear, that first sound, that doo-doo-doo, and that spin, I swear, that it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that after all the hard work that I did, that I was able to actually bring the system home. It was surreal. I couldn't believe I had it in my house. Now, after that, after I had it, I played Sonic Adventure to death. Couldn't stop playing it. The system would get hot. I was like, I'm not gonna stop. So the next games that I got was Soul Calibur. Now, Soul Calibur, if everybody remembers, I got Soul Calibur right here. Soul Calibur was one of the most amazing looking fighting games I've ever seen in my life. Even till today, even though it's on older hardware, the game is still dope. It's still dope to play. That was my second game that I actually got for the Dreamcast. You can see this disc still actually looks pretty brand new. But this is not the original one that I got. This is a second copy that I got. We're gonna get to that story in a minute. But that was definitely one of the biggest games besides Sonic Adventure that came out. And as you can see, I still got my stack of Dreamcast games here. And most of the games here, of course, I got Pro Skater 2, I got Crazy Taxi, Alone in the Dark, Street Fighter Third Strike. This is the best Street Fighter Third Strike. Reason being, because this one, when you use the VMU and you use the Rumble Pack, you can feel your heart beating as you're fighting in the game. You can feel whichever character you have, you can feel their heart beating in the game. I also had Code Veronica. And Code Veronica for Resident Evil had the life pulse on the VMU, which was dope. The system itself was definitely a step beyond what we had at that time. And of course, you know, I got Shenmue in here. And one of the biggest games that was only $20 at the time, but it's like $100 now, Project Justice. Project Justice is actually the third Rival Schools game. So they had Rival Schools 1, and then they made Rival Schools 2, and they let Rival Schools 2 come out in Japan, but not in the US, because at the time of Rival Schools was the time around the Columbine shooting and everything, so they were like having schools fighting each other wasn't so cool. So they bought the other one out, and then they made this one called Project Justice. But yeah, man, the amount of games, Shenmue, and of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You can't have a Dreamcast without having Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, there was also a lot of homebrew games and a lot of copied games that was made on the Dreamcast 2. And the thing is with those, a lot of us at the time didn't think much of it and was like, oh yeah, it's a copied game and we're getting it for like $10, cool. But that actually, a lot of people didn't realize, helped with the downfall of the Dreamcast. Among other things that Sega did that they probably shouldn't have done. Actually, this shirt, I got this shirt on the launch of the Dreamcast. So when you pre-ordered it, you actually got this shirt. So this t-shirt is actually 20 years old. I've only worn it twice. This is the second time. The first time when I got it, I tried it on. The second time I wore it was 10 years ago on the 10-year anniversary, and now this is the third time I'm actually wearing it, which is on the 20-year anniversary. This is an original Dreamcast shirt with the Sega on the tag. So, like I said, the Dreamcast itself was an amazing system. It was a system that was so beyond, especially with this alone right here. The line in, which was the 56K modem. This was the first time I was this is the first time I ever played video games online with other people. I bought a mouse, I bought the keyboard, I had everything, and I played Quake for the first time online with other people. Matter of fact, the first MP3 that I ever downloaded was on the Sega Dreamcast. Let me tell you how I did it. The Sega Dreamcast, you could search online. You could surf the web. So there was a download, I think it was LimeWire, I'm not sure which one it was, but they had songs that you could download. I downloaded Pardon Me by Incubus. I don't even know how long it took to download it for it to actually play. It didn't download onto the system, but it downloaded, like, I guess it was a cloud back then. So I hooked up the system to my stereo, took a tape, and recorded the sound from the system onto the tape, and that was the first MP3 I ever had. All of that from this little white system right here. The best I ever had. So, unfortunately, my first Dreamcast system actually got stolen. And it got stolen by my neighbor next door, who lived right next door to me. Same person who knew I actually had one. And he came in my house when I wasn't home, stole my system, stole my Sonic Adventure, stole my Soul Calibur. That's the reason why I have a second Soul Calibur. Stole my system, my PlayStation, everything out of my house. He since had got arrested and went to jail and everything. I got the PlayStation back, but I never got the Dreamcast back. So, who do you think came to the rescue? My same aunt. My same aunt came to the rescue. She said, "No, this is bull. We got to get you another one." So we went to the mall, and we found another made in Japan Dreamcast system. We found another system. My aunt bought me another VMU, bought me some more games, and I took it home. And that story will live with me till I leave this earth. My aunt has since passed away. She passed away last year, July, and she made sure that my childhood was always great. And at that time, I wasn't even a child. I was 19 years old. But even from when I was younger, all the way up until the day she passed away, she made sure that me and all of the rest of her nephews and nieces were always happy. So that's one of the biggest reasons the Dreamcast is so close to my heart, because of the things that I experienced through this actual system. And till this day, I still play it. I put a video up not too long ago with me playing fighting games on it. So Sega, I know you made some mistakes, but this one here was definitely not one of them. And I've been a Sega kid since the Master System. I had the Master System, the Genesis. I didn't have the Saturn, and I'm gonna track a Saturn down and get one. But the Dreamcast was such a great system, still is a great system. There's still people out there making homebrew games for it, and hopefully they keep doing it. And I'm gonna see if I can find some and boot this up and play it some more. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you Sega for making the Sega Dreamcast, and 20 years later we still sitting here talking about it. And I hope you guys, if you don't have one, you can probably find one for like $25. Get one, get the library, play it. It's a great system. It's still a great system. Happy 20th anniversary Dreamcast. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.